Hello agents and rogues of the Division, and welcome to TheAdditionTV, where in today's video I will be discussing the more intricate details of your gear and the impact it has on your ability to perform effectively in your preferred playstyle, build or class, whichever you prefer to call it. This video will also be closely linked to my previous video on weapon talents and attributes, and so I recommend watching that as well as this video to get a better grasp of this game's RPG mechanics. So, for those unfamiliar with RPGs or role-playing games, one pillar of the genre is the accumulation and improvement of character statistics which represent character abilities as you progress through the game. These statistics are improved by equipping better gear to which higher statistics are attached, in turn increasing your character's abilities, such as improving damage, health, or skill power. These attributes can then be utilised to make the character better at performing certain tasks or fulfilling certain squad roles when balancing your statistics in particular ways. The classic examples of which in an RPG are a healer providing support to teammates by keeping them alive, the damage dealer providing the bulk of damage to enemies, especially bosses, and the tank, the role of which is to take huge amounts of damage and preoccupy enemies in order to keep weaker teammates unharmed. And it is the impact of these statistics on your character's abilities that sets RPGs apart from games where character damage scales or weapon statistics are static. In The Division, these ability-altering statistics are known as your primary attributes, and consist of firearms, stamina, and electronics. The accumulated ratings for which are found along the top bar of your inventory menu, and in this clip, you can see that my current scores are 116 firearms, 118 stamina, and 71 electronics. As previously mentioned, these attribute scores are the accumulation of statistics which are attached to my equipped gear, but it is important to note that in The Division, appearance items such as your hat or jacket are purely cosmetic and do not impact your character in any other way. However, any equipped body armor, mask, knee pads, holster, gloves, or backpack will have the potential to impact your character's attributes. If the item is of standard quality or above, it will provide a boost to one, or if you're lucky, two, of the primary attributes. And as you can see on screen, I am running through my inventory and showing the attribute scores which are found in the right hand menu, with the indicator beneath the item name showing what these statistics will do to my overall primary attribute scores compared to that which I have currently equipped. So, now that we know what the primary attributes are and where they're found, let's take a closer look at how they impact your character. Each attribute score will improve your character's ability to perform in a certain aspect of gameplay, that aspect being the statistic under which it sits in the menu. So, your total firearms rating affects the overall damage your character can produce, and more specifically, it will increase your weapon damage by 1% per point applied to the firearms attribute. Your total stamina rating affects your character's hit points or health, but in more depth, each single stamina attribute point equates to approximately 30 hit points or 30 health, so your total stamina times by 30 equals your health pool. And finally, your total electronics rating impacts the effectiveness of your skills, but more accurately increases your skill power by 10 per single electronics attribute point acquired. The accumulative effect of these statistics can be found in the character tab of your menu. That's one tab across from your gear overview. Here you can see on screen that my firearms rating of 116 increases my weapon damage by 116%. My stamina rating of 118 results in a total health pool of 3,540, and my electronics rating of 71 provides me with a skill power of 710. Now, the impact of your attributes on these primary gameplay statistics is where your gear selection can so greatly impact your gameplay style. Or, alternatively, your gameplay style could greatly impact the attributes you wish to favour in the game, and therefore, which items of gear you wish to equip. This is as each category lends itself more specifically to a certain character build than another. These builds being those that I previously mentioned, the damage dealer, the tank, and the healer, which should really be more appropriately referred to as the support character in the Division, as the build will impact any selected skills. So, if you decide that your style of gameplay will be to provide the most DPS possible, helping your team to defeat enemies efficiently and effectively, then you will want to equip as much gear with high firearms attributes attached as possible, and not simply the best weapon you can find as you might have done in a non-role-playing game. This is as what we now know about the firearms attribute shows that a good weapon alone is clearly not all that is required to provide high amounts of damage, as your total firearms attribute increases damage by 1% per point, and therefore a weapon with a damage score of 100 will purely provide 100 damage per shot, whereas a weapon with a damage score of 100 combined with a firearms score of 100 will produce twice the damage. Furthermore, if you wish to be a really effective damage dealer, a good tip is to match a high firearms score to a high damage weapon which also has good talents, such as bonus damage or armor penetration to provide that extra kick. Similarly, should you wish to play primarily as a tank, attempting to focus enemy attention away from your squad members and being able to take a huge beating from enemies without going down, you should be focusing on gear with stamina attributes attached in order to increase your health. However, just as weapon damage can be teamed with firearms score to increase overall damage, your stamina score is not the only statistic that can impact your ability to take a beating. This is best achieved by combining a high stamina score with a high armor score. As we know, your health is approximately the equivalent of your stamina times by 30, but survivability is not only making your health pool so large that you can take a lot of shots, it is also about reducing the amount of incoming damage from each shot, and thus, armor statistics are also very important as they reduce incoming damage by approximately 0.1% per armor point, which may not seem like much, but when considering that each of your 6 pieces of equipped gear will provide an armor rating, you can quickly build up scores in the 100s, providing over a 10% reduction in incoming damage. Another way to improve your ability to tank effectively would be to use a high threat, known in RPGs as aggro, weapon such as a light machine gun, able to attract and maintain enemy attention due to their large magazine sizes, along with weapon attachments such as muzzles which have positive aggro statistics in order to further increase your ability to maintain the attention of enemies. These attachment statistics are another aspect of your items that I will cover in a similar video relating to weapons, weapon attachments, and their impacts on gameplay. And finally, if you wish to play as a healer or as any support class, making the most of your chosen skills such as first aid, automated turret, and ballistic shield, you should be attempting to balance your primary attribute scores towards electronics by equipping gear with electronics attributes attached. The impact of a high rating in this attribute is more complicated to define than the others due to the amount of different skills that it can impact, but the simplest way to describe it is to say that it will improve the effectiveness of any selected skills. For example, first aid may heal for more health or in a larger area of effect, the ballistic shield may last longer or be able to take more damage, and the automated turret may deal more damage or cover a larger area. In this video I have mainly covered the impact of gear on your style of play in an attempt to help you understand how to be as effective as possible. Because of this, I didn't fully discuss the further intricacies of gear statistics, focusing mainly on primary attributes. However, there are also statistics known as major and minor attributes which are attached to gear items and can also contribute to your abilities. If you wish to know more information on the intricacies of these gear statistics, I recommend that you watch the related videos by Boomslang, Arix, or Marco Styles, which are all very good and will be linked in the description. And so, once again, that's all for this edition. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did and want to see more, check out my other videos or like and subscribe. Also, please feel free to comment and let me know what you think of the content I'm producing and what content you would like to see me produce as this channel develops. As well as on YouTube, I can be found on most social media outlets such as Twitter and Twitch. Links for these will be in the description, and thanks again for watching.